Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are Group 7. We would like to presentation about learning environments and instructional activities. But before presenting, let me introduce our member. My name is Mawada Warahma and my friend Egina Aprida and the last Irma Zuliatul Makfiro. So the first material will be started by me. Developing instructional interaction and events. The instructional designer recommends specific activities based on the information gathered through needs, tasks, and learner analysis, development of goals and objectives. Next slide. Learning environments. A learning environment is the milieu in which the instructor, the content, and the learners are placed. A learning environment is the context in which instruction occurs, more than just a physical setting. A learning environment is shaped by the type of instruction that needs to occur, and it is influenced by the attitudes and preferences of those who organize and operate that environment. Next slide. For perspective on the design of learning environments in their book, How People Learn, Brain, Mind, Experience, and School, Bransford, Brown, and Cooking. Describe 4 types of learning environments: learner-centered, knowledge center, assessment center, and community center. First, learner-centered environments focus on the attitudes, skills, knowledge, and beliefs that students bring to an instructional setting. In this environment, the instructor uses information about how the learners relate to the content as well as the learners' preconceived ideas or misconception to create situations where the learners generate new and hopefully improve perception of the content. The second, knowledge-centered environments focus on the information and activities that help learners develop an understanding of disciplines. In this environment, learners are exposed to well-organized knowledge in order to facilitate planning and strategic thinking. The third, assessment-centered environments focus on providing opportunities for feedback and revision. In this environment, testing critiques are used to provide learners with opportunities to rethink and revise their ideas. And the last, community-centered environments focus on people learning from one another and contributing to the larger societies of people who share common interests and goals. In this environment, the connection between the instructional setting and world outside the setting are used to give the content greater meaning and place it in a more global context. And next slide, directed and open-ended learning environments. Hanafin, Len, and Oliver, 1999, describe 2 types of learning environments, directed and open-ended. A directed learning environment is one in which the instructional designer has determined specific learning objectives and prescribes structure activities in which participants demonstrate that they have learned by meeting the objectives. An open-ended learning environment differs from a directed learning environment in that the learning goals or the method of pursuing those goals are determined in one of 3 ways. And the next will be explained by Egina.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Igina Beda. I will try to explain. I wanted to explain about the material, the differences between directed and open-ended learning environments. The differences between directed and open-ended learning environments include 2 views of what the learners create sense adult 2012 make a distinction between direct or expository teaching and indirect teaching. Direct teaching. Direct teaching places the instructor in the center of all activity. The instructor presents specific information and decides exactly what the students will do and where they will do it. Direct teaching is the most commonly employed in the directed learning environments. Indirect teaching places the instructor in a more perceptible position during learning activities. The instructor offers support and guidance while the students approach an assigned problem in the ways that seem the best to them. This approach is commonly employed in the open-ended learning environments. Next slide. Instructional activities. Instructional activities are the experiences designed to help the student learn. It is the instructional designer's job to identify those activities that will work best on the learner's need and the instruction goals and objectives. Problem-based learning or PBL. Problem-based learning or PBL activities are open-ended learning situations. Students are usually presented with a problem that needs to be solved and are then encouraged to develop this solution to their problems by using resources and tools available to them. In the final phase of PBL activities, students reflect on both the problem and the theory methods of the developing of solutions, summarizing, and synthesizing what they have learned. Albion's 23. As student essentials in solving currently contrived problems, they develop and refine their understanding of the subject matter in a highly personal and meaningful way. And the second, simulation and games. Simulation and games. Learning through simulation has long been part of human experience. Simulations are in essence involving case studies that allow participants to examine issues and problems that arise in specific situations. Gladler, 24. Participants make decisions that affect the situation and experience the result of those decisions in the environments that does not affect the real world. Simulation can also be useful instructional activities for promoting better, more informed decisions making regardless of the relative safety of the real world event. Brown 1999. It seems students can experience as the multidimensional problem solvers while engaged in instructional simulation. For 1990, Brown 1999, Glender 1996. And the third, instructional games. Instructional games are the subset of instructional simulation. A game is an activity in which participant abides by specified rules as they strive, or often competing against others to achieve the specific goals building on rather and results 2012. Making use of games as instructional activity has a number of advantages. Games can also distract learners from focusing on the content in the way poorly designed to or create an atmosphere of intense competition, or with the goal of the winning the game escapes that of the learning the content. Maldino et al. 2012. And the last, just-in-time teaching. Just-in-time teaching or just-in-time instruction is currently a popular concept among educators. It is a strategy whereby direct instruction is provided based on the immediate needs expressed or indicated by students during a lesson or work period. Just-in-time teaching is adaptive. The instructor may choose from a number of short lessons prepared in advance or may improvise pre-lessons. The just-in-time approach may be used to direct teaching methods within and direct teaching environments. The instructor takes the role of facilitator, providing short lessons that cover content the students themselves request. Thank you.
Okay, the next material will be explanation by me about research support for international practice. The job of an international design includes making decisions about which international activities will be used to help learners meet certain goals and objectives. The main research studies or meta-analytical studies provide specific ways in answering this question. The results of these studies can assess learning designers is closing a period and activative learning activities. The papers looking at research on the teaching practice at their levels of research, basic, comparative, and evaluative. Level 1, basic, is pure research conducted in laboratory environment. These aim to construct a theoretical construct or idea that has validity, at least 2001. The research carried out this stage is very useful but must validate with further research. This research usually has given rise to theories about the learning which are often later developed into learning programs or methods. Level 2 comparative research is designed to test the efficacy of particular program and instructional method in the educational setting. Research conducted at this level and carried out in the educational setting to determine how effective this particular teaching method and program. Level 3 evaluative research is designed to determine the efficacy of the teaching method or program to much greater degree than in the institutional setting. Okay, the next material about activities based on proven effective practices. This may be any activities of specific learning activities invaluable. Instructor is teacher has several activities to have become his or her favorite touch, habits, or history of success. As building international designer involving your repertoire of external activities, it is important to experiment with those that have the greatest potential to positively influence your student. Okay, the 9 categories are infinity, similarities, and difference. Infinity, similars, and difference. The ability to determine how things are similar and different is instrumental and crucial to most forms of understanding. Number 2, summarizing and taking notes. Summarizing and taking have proven themselves to be highly effective instructional activities for both adolescents and adult learners. Number 3, certain effort and provide recognition. Crucial to student success in the belief that effort immediately ensures achievement. Students who believe in the importance of effort are much more likely to succeed. Therefore, finding ways to encourage and reward to effort both in its activity that can improve. Number 4, homework and exercise. Research shows that homework and exercise improve achievement and learning. Number 5, non-linguistic representation. The linguistic mode is the most commonly used for presenting teaching material to the use of literature reading, assessment, and question and answer session. However, research shows that the more people use linguistic and imagery modes, the better they are able to analyze and remember information. Non-linguistic representation include neural illustration and animation, graphic, original voice. Number 6, corrective learning. The best corrective learning activities are well structured with clear goals and expectations. Science corrective learning is popular today. It is important not to average this type of activities the expense of self-practice and skill development. Number 7, setting goals and providing feedbacks. Setting goals can cause instructional can be too efficient in the limited way. Research shows that goals carefully defined by instructional designer can actually lead to delay in student general learning. Number 8, generate and test hypotheses. Activities that generate hypotheses make students explore the contents of the lesson more thoroughly. They can also cause students to think more about their own thought process, which helps students become better decision maker and problem solvers. Number 9, advise question, choose and organize. Research on question, choose and follow-up grazing so that they are effective and efficient internal activities. Okay, that's enough until here the explanation of group 7. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.